no apparent reason, and they need to be stopped. I mean, where is it that we don't defend people in our society that says that's okay? I don't think in black community, white community, any other community is it ever okay to say we got a killer amongst us and that's cool. But we have this backwards, broken mentality that comes from years of bad education. And I'm not talking about school education, I'm talking about street education, where the information that we pass down just gets taken out of context and misconstrued in a way that people, they make something what it's not, and you get ridiculed for something that you should be, proud of. And I'm not saying you should be proud because you're out here catching people. It's just, look, the police got a job to do, okay? And I'm not saying we're supposed to do the job for them, but you are supposed to look at the situation and say, if you kill my mother, I want somebody to talk about it. If you hurt one of my kids, I want somebody to talk about it. Because I deserve, as a father or a son or a brother or whoever, a friend, I deserve justice. And if I take justice in my own hands, then you want to take my freedom from me. And so you can't trap people in this catch-22 of life and then say, and you should be all right with it. We can kill who we want to kill and then that's that. Nah, it's a cop-out. And anybody who buys into that, that's on them. I can promise you, if I saw somebody hurt somebody in a way that I knew it was unwarranted and undeserved, yeah. If somebody asked me, that's the person you're looking for right there. Because if you kill an old lady because you knocked her over the head and you stole her money, I'm not going to be good with that. If I'm not going to jump in myself, which I'm supposed to, but if I'm not going to do that myself, I can't just let you rock. It's got to be a balance. And I think that really, if you ask me, I'm just going to flip it and say it the way I feel it. I think that people have been, they talk about okey doke in a sense. This is the stuff that they want you to do so they can perpetuate the violence and keep these problems going on in the community. So they give you these things to run with. I mean, the stuff that people, invest in, man, like I said, these Jordans and everything else is cool. But if you invest in all that money in Jordans, that means you got stocks to win as far as I'm concerned. That means you got real estate already. That means that you've taken care of business in a way that puts you on the map. Because anybody who got $300 a pair to drop on a pair of sneakers needs to look at their life and really wonder, have I taken this money and used it as wisely as I can so that I can make dividends on this money, so that I can have some money come back to me so I can do more things. Not something where I can say, I got the freshest Jordans that I can wear 10 times before they're worthless, because once you beat them up, that's the end of the story right there. So now you got the shoe that you can't barely wear because you got to keep it brand new, but it has no value. And that's the problem. We buy into too many things that have no value. And until we get to a place where we can actually do things on our own merit and do stuff because you like it, not because it's in, do stuff because it's something that really appeals to you, not because it's the only way to impress people. Once we get to that way of thinking, then you get a lot more people that are, willing to fight for their community and stuff because they got something to fight for.
Impressive. I love that answer. Well played, sir. Well played.
Hey, look, man, this is what we are, man. I mean, we got to get past this linear way of being. That's all it is. We're not a linear group of people. We are a multifaceted group of talented artists, intellectuals, and scientists and craftsmen and all these other things. We are not a linear group of people. You know what I mean? We're a very, very broad group, and that the fact that we all try to fit into the same mold means we're broken right there. That alone means we're broken. Because when you can't see that you're an individual, I tell everybody, be as individual as your fingerprint is. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody has the same fingerprint as you, and you should be just as individual as the fingerprints on your fingers. And so those are the things I try to, push to people and tell everybody to kind of look towards, because if you try to do what everybody else is doing, then we'll never grow. And lack of growth is death. Mm-hmm. People don't understand that when you don't grow, you're dying. Anything, if you stop moving and you lay in the bed, your body, your skin and your body starts to die at a certain point. That's what bed sores and all that stuff is. If you don't keep moving and keep growing and keep expanding, then we as a culture, we as a unit, we as a world start to die. So we got to get out of this one way of thinking. This there's one way to be black. There's not one way to be black. There's not one way to be anything. There's a multitude of ways to be somebody, and that it's the more individuals that we kind of bring to the table, and you're going to see us blossom into something way better in the future. That is where the hope for the future is, to be more of an individual. The more individuals we have, the more things we put into this pot, the more we grow from each other, the more we connect those dots and become something that's so huge that it shows us our future. We got somewhere to go.
That's something I was wondering about, because we need to be able to define what it is that is good about black people, what it is bad about black people. We need to be able to discuss what is beautiful about us, what's ugly about us. We need to be able to have a forum. We need to be able to have a discussion that just because you have this does not necessarily mean that you're right. Everything is right with the world. Everything is wrong with the world. The fact is, so many people are caught in certain fads, like the sagging pants. Everybody has their, all these brand name clothes, but no value in their own minds. You got on the women's side, you got everybody trying to get all these different color weaves, all the ratchet attitudes on both sides of the spectrum. It's hard to have people be individuals. Everybody's following the same thing, and nobody's really going anywhere as far as being an innovator, being a trendsetter. Everybody's following this. There's a whole bunch of followers. It's a whole bunch of people who are a whole bunch of customers, not trying to be entrepreneurs like you and I, not trying to be like trying to do something new about themselves. Do you think the originality has kind of dwindled as when you look out and you start to see today's kids, you start to see today's teens, you start to see today's mothers, today's fathers, today's artists, today's authors, when you look around entertainment all around the black culture, where do you think we are as far as creativity?
I think that you kind of, if you listen to what you just said, you kind of answered the question in a lot of ways. When you think about what you just said, which is the stuff we wear and the stuff we do, the reason why people wear these things is because they feel they have no value. And so we're trying to buy back our value. We're trying to prove something through the clothes and stuff like that to say, I can afford this, I can afford that. You know what I'm saying? I said in the rap, I was like, basically, we need strip clubs to prove that we're not celibate. You know what I mean? And then I said, basically, we need foils and billboards to show we're relevant. And the thing is that you can't be creative and at the same time be thinking this has got to show the world something. It's kind of like if you're being creative, it's organic. It's not something that's premeditated to impress people. It's something that I'm so amped on what I'm doing that it's just I'm in a zone. And as I build something, when it's built, I can look at it and say this is great art or this is crap. I've been inspired and built crap before. I said, man, that's no good. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back and do something better, or let me, tonight's not the night for it. I thought I was on the zone. And when I build something beautiful, then I want to show the world because I'm so impressed with what I did for myself that I want to share it with somebody else. And the point I guess I'm trying to make is that rap was, like, you want to look at rap for an example. Rap was at its purest when people weren't making any money doing it. And the reason why I was at its purest is because people were doing it because they just loved the art of it. They just like being a part of it. When you look at Spike Lee when he did She's Gotta Have It, or you look at Hollywood Shuffle with Robert Townsend, or School Days, or Do the Right Thing, or these different movies that were coming out in the 80s, it was not that they were doing it because they were going to be these huge filmmakers. They weren't making Spielberg money, but they just were like, we want to do our thing. We want to show our stories. And that art was there, and they really brought together something that was creative. My point is that when you start infusing the idea of economics into art, it makes it very hard to be creative because you're more concerned with trying to tailor your stuff to the people as opposed to listen to your heart and creating something from your heart. Something that's just so great that you don't care whether people like it or hate it. You know what I mean? You're not worried about whether it's popular or not. You're just worried about getting out this thing that's been nagging you, meaning that you had this idea and I gotta get it on paper, I gotta get it in the studio, I gotta get it on film, I gotta take this story and write a book. It's like that passion to create comes from passion, not from dollars. And when dollars get involved in passion, that's why you see a lot of people, their first couple of albums are ridiculous and then they can't do nothing else because that's the album they took 20 years to make. That's the album that their life poured into that one album. Their art was was everything to them. And so once they got to the point where the money got involved and you got people telling you how you should do your art, then the art becomes watered down. And then you lose the whole, point of the art.
Absolutely. Okay. We're gonna go back into love before we hit this track because I got S Navi getting ready to blast this little tune.
Yeah, like I said, S Navi, one of the new talents, making a lot of waves. If you don't know her, look her up. ESNAVI, and she's such a phenomenal talent. And I think that if you like Jill Scott and if you like a lot of different artists that really go in and they do it for the love of the art, you want to talk about creativity, she goes in and she gives it 100% and she kills it. So, if you're looking for somebody on that level, Revolt TV, they just did something with her like I told you. She's killing SOBs on a regular basis. She's done BET, she's done Centric, she's done TV One. She's been on MTV. They play the music on Love and Hip Hop. I mean, really, she's making some big strides, and I'm proud to say I know her.
Absolutely. When it comes to love, I'm gonna play this track, but I'm gonna ask this question first. What do you think is missing from today's love than back in the day's love? What do you think is missing that? Today's lovers today, what do you think people are missing? What do you think is stopping folks from having an unexpected love or a planned love? What do you think is missing?
I mean, I can tell you what's missing is real simple. The world's going digital. It's technology. It's before you have sex with a person, you've already tweeted all your business. You know what I'm saying? You texting and sexting. People are no longer meeting people and just making it organic. Look, man, you used to go back in the days, you had to have heart to go kick it to a girl. You had to get it you had to get your chest puffed up, get your clothes ironed right, make sure your hair was looking good, and then you went in for the kill. And it was like a jumping off a cliff kind of thing. You never knew what reaction you were going to get. Now people, man, they just get online, punch in what they're looking for, pull it up. It's the same thing when I was telling you about the music, man. You lose the depth of things, and you lose the mystery. If I know all about you in a date, then we don't generally make it to the second date. It's that mystery that keeps you coming back. And that the internet tells so much about who you are these days that people don't get a chance to really get to know each other when they together. They're on phones all the time, or you keep the distractions. You distract from actually getting to know who the person is, and that's where you lose, as far as I'm concerned, where you lose a lot of a person and what love could be. Instead of just stepping to somebody and saying, "Hey, how you doing?" and getting to see how those weeks unfold. When there's mystery, you don't know what that person's going to turn out to be. It's like if somebody told you to end it into a movie, why watch the movie? There's no fun at that point. You lose that mystery that keeps you wondering how the movie ends, that keeps you intrigued to the storyline, so you're watching it to kind of figure out where the story's going to go. if I keep coming to you and I say, yo, this is the movie, it's about this, that person dies, this person gets together with that person, and